Welcome to Season 2 of Girls' Night Out, Cat Fever, a sci-fi romance in 5 episodes. Up next is Episode 5 and the finale of Season 2.
It was dawn. The marsh was blanketed with a cold mist. Lane, Griffin, and I had the director and all the other vermilion flycatchers in cages. Lane let all the male birds go first.
Okay, guys. The girls have been waiting for you for days, but they're still gonna play hard to get. So, have fun!
The freed vermilion flycatchers darted happily back and forth across the marsh, catching mosquitoes, looking for females, establishing their territory. One bird left to release the director. While we were at the marsh, Clementine had a plan to do a little misdirection. She had pulled over at Gates Pass Scenic Lookout in Tucson, Arizona, and made her mind ready for thought sharing with Zanditha S.
Commencing thought sharing with Inception Subject 2. Earthling Clementine.
Acting Director, I feel you. My apologies. Grace and Lane are unable to discuss the cull. They are too sentimental. But I have prepared a cull plan. I think it's optimal, but with your permission, I would like to ask your advice.
Of course.
For the cull, can I assume that we want to minimize suffering?
I suppose so. Suffering should be minimized.
To eliminate 6 billion humans, there are several potential selection criteria. By health, by fertility, by intelligence, by habitat. Acting Director, let me explain.
Fenn B should be present for this discussion.
I wanted to share thoughts with you alone first, because Fenn B, well, he's also very sentimental, and I suspect not entirely objective.
That is very insightful.
While Clementine kept Zanditha S. busy, Lane, Griffin, and I got ready to release the director.
Wow. There's a lot of starlings on the marsh this morning. There normally aren't this many.
You sound like you disapprove, Griffin.
They're not native to here. They're invasive.
That's the thing with living things. They can't help but live. Okay, Director, your turn.
Did you call that bird director?
This one's special.
Lane opened the director's cage, and the director flew over the marsh and landed on a reed. He watched the morning sun dance on the water and waited to be extracted. Then, Griffin saw a patch of darkness high in the sky.
There's a falcon up there. He's getting ready to attack.
The peregrine falcon is the top gun of the bird world. An expert at riding thermal updrafts, all he has to do is stay within the column of warm air, and he will rise effortlessly. He has spotted his prey, a vermilion flycatcher resting on a reed. The falcon tucks in his wings, creating a teardrop shape, and plummets to Earth, reaching speeds of up to 200 miles an hour. A speed so fast that normally his lungs would explode, but baffles in his nostrils flare, slowing down the flow of air into his lungs.
Griffin and I saw the falcon drop like a bullet towards the director. None of us knew that this falcon was an assassin, Kestrel Venn. I didn't have time to think. I brought my hands together like an accordion player and squeezed the air molecules over the marsh, tighter and tighter and tighter. The air over the marsh changed to the consistency of molasses. The falcon slowed down, but it wasn't enough. The falcon paused in its flight, then circled in a spiral, soaring to a great height. The falcon found the director
Lane!
And plunged again. Lane scanned the marsh. In a split second, a cloud of starlings took flight. At first, they were just a chaotic black mass. And then, out of the chaos came a strange, exquisite, and menacing shape. It was a murmuration. The murmuration formed a funnel and rose up to meet the falcon. The falcon beat its wings to slow down and darted away.
Wow! I've never seen starlings attack a falcon before.
Cognos, extract the director!
Extract protocols initiated. Extraction of the director complete.
Thank you, Cognos.
You know, Warden, someone said to me quite recently, this bird is no longer hunted. Very safe to borrow. You will find it very enjoyable.
Of course, if 3 in every 4 people are cold, there will be a significant effort to safely dispose of all the bodies. Earthlings have a variety of very inefficient funeral practices. Do you have any recommendations?
I don't have time for this. End thought sharing with Inception subject number 2.
But wait, I just
Thought
have...
sharing has ended.
That's it, Cognos. We're getting rid of all of them, now.
Preparing to cull 100% of humans on planet Earth.
Cognos, abort cull.
Terminating cull.
Casualty rate?
Casualty rate is 0.
Acting Director S. I feel you.
Warden, Director. What a surprise. Welcome back, Director. Did you have an enjoyable vacation?
It was certainly memorable. I understand you've been busy.
I learned so much.
Wonderful. Influencer S, you are relieved of your acting duties with my thanks.
It was my pleasure.
End thought sharing with Zanditha S.
Thought sharing with Zanditha S. has ended.
Director, I am very happy to see you back safe and sound.
I won't be going on another vacation for some time. The humans of Earth are strange beings, very expressive and surprisingly noble. Well, most of them.
Just like us, Director?
I would like you to go back to Earth. Do the training you wanted to do with the Inception subjects. Help them get started.
How long do they have?
It's a big job. We can give them time.
As Griffin watched the murmuration dissolve into a formless flock of starlings, he got a call from Ojai.
Birds International.
Hi, Griffin. Are you on your way?
Oh, shit!
Griffin didn't have time to ponder what had just happened. He started to run. He didn't have far to go. All last week, Griffin had called people, organized carpools, and pulled favors. Today, at 7:30 a.m., they had all showed up in full force. Ojai and her cameraman, Grant, were there too.
Thank you all for turning out this morning, and a big thanks to Pearl for getting everyone here. Ojai, we should move out.
Grant, ready? We are here at Whitney Marsh, the proposed site of the Purrfection Cat Wellness and Adventure Park. A group of
Okay,
concerned
people,
citizens.
are we ready? Let's move. Keep together.
Who were these protesters gathering in the early morning at Whitney Marsh? It was about 30 or so members of the Amateur Bird Watchers Association of Whitney County. Average age? 74. They wore khaki vests with hundreds of mysterious but useful pockets. They had bucket hats and hiking pants that zippered at the knee. Their field glasses slung over their shoulder like banditos, and a love of birds in their heart. They were gentle, quiet, and determined. Their leader was Pearl Castle, 84 years young. With Griffin at their head, they formed a vanguard, walking quietly and urgently along the path. Ojai and Grant jogged alongside them. And then there was an unmistakable sound. Griffin looked over at Ojai, and she smiled at him, raising her fist in solidarity. At a fork in the path, there was Joe Born with a Tooth and about 50 people of the Wicknish Nation, dancing and chanting. Joe was in full ceremonial Wicknish attire. He danced in a mesmerizing, swooping series of figure eights. First this way, then that. A girl, about 10 years old, in a beaded Wicknish dress, carried a sign that read, "Save Our Spirit Bird." Grant, the cameraman, excitedly swept his camera over the scene. Griffin's eyes teared at the sight of Joe. He had come. Griffin tried to catch Joe's eye, but Joe just continued his dance. Griffin's group fell in behind them, and together they moved towards the parking lot.
Griffin, I'm gonna run up ahead.
Go, go.
See you up there.
In the parking lot, up ahead, was a marquee and a group of people in business suits mingling as a waiter served orange juice and champagne. Lined up to one side were men in hard hats, work boots, and high-vis gear. One person stood out. Tasha Van Feline wore an ivory business suit and alligator stilettos. She stood on a small red carpet. Otherwise, she would have sunk instantly into the squelching mud of the marsh. Candace gingerly placed a hard hat on Tasha's head and handed her a shovel. Tasha smiled radiantly. Teetering slightly, she stepped up to a podium.
Oh, she's gonna speak. We've gotta get this, Grant. Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. When we hear the phrase groundbreaking, we think about innovation, change, and brave steps. Well, today we break ground on Purrfection Park. Feel Right is committed to the health and wellness of all living things. We are proud to sponsor this beautiful destination for our cherished cats. We've had a tremendous amount of support from all of you, our wonderful local businesses, the Isla Rafah Society, and our very own Mayor Thompson.
Tasha waved to the workmen, and the bulldozer engines fired up. She nodded in satisfaction and stepped delicately off the red carpet. She put her foot on the edge of the shovel and froze with a smile as photos were taken. As the sound of camera shutters filled the air, Tasha's ears pricked up at the faint sound of activism on the breeze.
I declare Purrfection Park officially... What is that noise?
Miss Van Feline, there's Indians coming.
The Wicknish Nation came around the bend in the path and moved rhythmically towards Tasha. Joe twirled in the Wickna dance, the Wicknish sang, and the birdwatchers chanted. Ojai and her cameraman captured it all.
Members of the Wicknish Nation are facing off against the developers of Purrfection Park.
Aware of the cameras, Tasha touched her hair and reset her scowling face into one of polite interest.
This is a private function! Can I help you?
Save our marsh! Save our marsh! Save our marsh! Save our marsh!
I am Joe Born with a Tooth, elder of the Wicknish Nation. I am a direct descendant of the Old Ones. This is the sacred site of the Chi-Ya-Al-Wickni, the days of fire and water. Beneath our feet is a viewing place. From this place, our people watch our spirit bird, the Wickni, or, as you call it, the vermilion flycatcher, return each year to mate and nest.
Anthropology professor and Wicknish woman Helen Lightfoot stepped into the camera frame next to Joe.
I am Dr. Helen Lightfoot, professor of anthropology. The shores of this marsh have been a sacred site for the Wicknish Nation for hundreds of years. Our spirit bird, the Wickni, the firebird, returns to this place, and only this place, each year. Whitney Marsh is of great spiritual importance to the Wicknish Nation, past and present, and a much-loved nature sanctuary for the residents of Whitney County.
This is an approved construction site. I have the papers here. Candace, papers. Coming.
Dr. Lightfoot ignored Tasha and her papers and spoke directly to the camera.
We call on the county to classify Whitney Marsh as an Indigenous heritage place.
Mayor Thompson knew how to read the mood of the crowd. He saw the microphone and the camera and did what any media-trained politician does.
Well, in light of this new feedback, I'm putting this development on hold pending community consultation.
Yes! Woo!
Moved by the spirited protest today by the Wicknish Nation, Birds International, academia, and concerned locals, the county had decided to delay the development of Purrfection Park and will consult with the community. That means a stay of execution for Whitney Marsh and the 152 nesting birds who call Whitney Marsh home.
Candace, get this ridiculous hat off. I need a blow dryer and wipes.
As Candace applied emergency blow drying to Tasha's hair, the police arrived.
Tasha Van Feline, you're under arrest for the kidnapping of Dr. Danik Vesely. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
This is Griffin.
Hello, Griffin. I'm Thomas Leichthardt from the Berlin office of Birds International. Griffin, you may not be aware, but Skip Waters has resigned effective today. I'm the new CEO now.
Oh, that's too bad. But congratulations.
Thank you. I wish it could have been under more positive circumstances. We are really impressed with the way you handled yourself during the whole situation, Griffin. You showed a lot of initiative.
Oh.
What are you doing now, Griffin?
Well, I have a job interview in about an hour. I'm just walking there now.
We would like to offer you the position of regional manager for the West Coast. What do you think of that?
Regional manager? Oh, wow. Yes. That's great. Thank you. What does a regional manager do?
Just keep doing what you're doing. I would like to come out and meet you sometime this month. We can talk about your other duties then.
Great. Great. I do have one question, though. Would I be getting paid?
I am Joe Born with a Tooth, and this is the news at 6. Make sure you and your cat get down to one of the vaccination centers and get your jab for cat fever. It's free and sponsored by Feel Right.
Clarence Pinhorn set up vaccination centers all around Whitney County. People and their cats lined up out the door to get the jab for cat fever. Lane took care of the cats and Danik took care of the humans. People chattered with each other and admired each other's cats. Amethyst Glory, from the homeless cat shelter, sat at a little desk registering everyone. At the head of the line was Zipper, a menacing-looking biker, with a shaved head and tats. In his muscly arms, he cradled Jasper.
Mr. Zipper, take this sheet, go on through to Dr. Vesely. Lane will take good care of little Jasper.
Hey there, little guy.
Zipper gave Danik his sheet of details and stuck out his tongue for the inoculation.
Ah, Mr. Zipper, it's not a pill. It's an injection, a needle.
Oh, sure. Left arm okay?
More bad news, I'm afraid. It doesn't go in your arm.
The male bird will bring food to the female as a gift of courtship. He may present the food at her feet, or in some cases, transfer it directly to her mouth. Courtship feeding provides a valuable source of nutrients for the female.
Gorp?
Huh?
Gorp. Good old raisins and peanuts.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, here. Have the binoculars. See them? There's two. Straight ahead. On the end of that long, yellowish blade of grass.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
The bright red one. That's the male. And the brown one, a little higher up, is the female.
Look at him, all fancy. The girl's kind of dull, isn't she?
Well, he doesn't know what color he is, and she's the most beautiful thing he's ever seen.
Come here, you.
The female places the male in a playful headlock as a way of signaling that courtship may commence in earnest.
Okay.
Tasha was in prison, awaiting her trial date. She had the best lawyer money could buy. He was going to argue diminished responsibility because Tasha had cat fever. Dr. Danik Vesely was going to testify on her behalf. He had always said people with cat fever were sick. No one, other than Tasha's lawyers, had come to see her in weeks, and then one day she had a visitor. As Tasha waited in the visitor's lounge, the prison guard led in an impossibly beautiful woman.
Who are you?
I represent an interest group. I have a business proposition for you.
Really? Haven't you heard? My career is finished. I'll be lucky to get an office manager job with an NGO.
I don't know what that means. We have been watching you. You are a strong, inspiring leader. People follow you.
Well, I don't know whether you've noticed, but no one's following me now.
They will. And Feel Right is exactly the type of organization we need.
Feel Right is suing me.
Don't worry about that. We're planning how do you say it? A hostile takeover?
Tell me more. I love your shoes, by the way.
Fanboy came to Earth. I knew it wasn't forever, but this time I wasn't going to waste a minute. I want you to meet him, Collie. You and Griffin. It might be hard for you to accept him at first, but you need to know he is my first love. And if I'm being honest, the love of my life. And yes, he is an alien, But right now, he's just a man standing in my kitchen, looking at all the fridge magnets.
I like this one.
I can do a pasta. I just realized I've never seen you eat. This body you're in, is it yours or is it borrowed?
This is my body, but I don't use it when I'm in the Laniakea. In fact, many Laniakeans exist solely in the virtual world.
Well, it doesn't sound like much fun.
It can be exquisitely enjoyable, beyond your imagining.
I don't know. I could imagine quite a lot. Vanboy had left the fridge magnets and was standing right next to me. He wasn't washing the lettuce like I had asked.
Gracie, I feel you. Can you feel me?
Yeah, sure.
Not with your hands.
I looked into his eyes and fell into a universe of stars and time. I could feel him, his skin, his heart beating, his... You're hungry.
Huh. I haven't had nourishment for a while. I keep forgetting to do this.
I figured out what we should do right now.
Wonderful. What?
Make love.
If we do that, you may achieve an ecstatic climax.
Let's hope so.
And so will I.
Yeah, it's pretty much guaranteed for guys.
You will feel your ecstatic climax, and you will feel my ecstatic climax. You will feel your love for me, and you will feel my love for you. This becomes an infinite loop, and, well, I don't know how expansive it will be. Because I love you, Gracie, and I know you love me.
I do.
So what I mean is, if we make love, it might be quite overwhelming. Dangerous, even.
Dangerous, huh? Yeah, let's do it anyway.
Mom? I think I lost my phone. Have you seen it? Maybe you can call it. Oh. Hi. Who are you?
Thank you for listening to Season 2 of Girls' Night Out, and our finale for the season. Bringing this story to life are our wonderful voice actors. In order of appearance, they are Nancy Zelno is Grace, Jen Lyles is Lane, Marie Ann Watson is Clementine, Sarah Zaversanuk is Zanditha S., Dan Egan is Griffin, Jim Marr is almost Sir David Attenborough, Matthew Moore is Fenn B., Christian P.K. Reeve is Cognos, Martin Lovell is the director, Christina Molina is Ojai, Wendy Page is Tasha Van Feline, Rich Green is Joe, Lauren Miller is Professor Helen Lightfoot, Abigail Halen is Candace, Chuck Galco is the mayor, Benny Butner is Thomas Leichhardt, Caitlin Stewart is Kali Rowland. Girls' Night Out Season 2 was written by me, Mary Labrie, and produced by Women of a Certain Age. Original music, We Are Alive, was written and produced by Dan Egan. Other music was Birds of Prey by Wicked Cinema and Stratosphere by Cloudwave. Girls' Night Out is the proud winner of the Australian Podcast Award for Best Fiction in 2022. For news about the Girls' Night Out series and the behind-the-scenes stuff, follow us on Facebook or on Instagram. Our handle is @Girls Night Out Universe, or links are on our Linktree, which is Linktree/Girls Night Out Podcast. If you like the show, please leave us a review or a comment and share us with your friends and family. And if you want to help this team of indie developers and actors win Best Fiction Podcast for 2023, please vote for us. We would appreciate that so much. That's the end of Season 2, but remember, Season 3 will be coming to you next year, because the story's not over yet. Thank you for joining us in this reality vector.